today's episode of The Roundtable, your show where we talk about politics and we talk about topics that are eating up the polity. We discuss, we dissect, we analyze, and we bring to you what we think is for or against, as the case may be. Shegun Odwayo is my name, and we have two wonderful persons on the show this afternoon. To my right, I have, I think he's joining us for the first time, if I'm not mistaken. If he has not, the second time. I think he was on the show while I was not sitting in this chair. Mr. Chukudi Akasike, our news editor for weekend titles of The Punch. So anytime you see some very fantastic stories being edited, or sometimes when he's dropping some of those super sweet stories, look out for that name. It's good to have you here, sir.
It's my pleasure.
A very good afternoon to you. And to my left, the man of the people, the comrade himself, Daniel Anyotwe.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Who gave us a strong line last week. Lovely line. I'm sure many of our viewers can still remember. Most importantly, very good afternoon to you, our viewers. Like I always say, we are here because you are there. So what topics do we have on the menu for you this afternoon? We'll be starting with the first topic: local government autonomy. 13 states are rushing to conduct council polls. I remember that the federal government of Nigeria took the state governors to court, recently, and they won. The federal government won their case at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court came out to say, hey, there's supposed to be three arms, three tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local government. The state government can't be collecting funds on the behalf of the local government. Rather, these funds are going to be sent into the accounts, to be sent into the separate accounts of the various local governments. Some governors came out to kick. Chief of this is the governor of Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde, who came out to say the federal government does not have the right to tell them what to do. He also set up two committees to look into the matter. Remember that it was the Supreme Court that gave directive. It was the judgment was from the Supreme Court, and you know what happens when this is in the news. Whenever the Supreme Court gives a judgment, where else do you go? I think the next place to go is to appeal to Almighty God. Also, states have come out to say, hey, we are going to be conducting our local government elections. Some states have set dates for August. I think the farthest we've seen so far is October the 13th. So I'll be starting with Daniel. I mean, is it that the governors did not know the right thing to do before now? And why are we like this? Why are we just a country like this? Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah, thank you, Shegun. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, dear viewers at home. It's we are all aware of this situation in the country. We know the situation we are in, and we know for sure that if you have people that are in government that wants to always control things, control the resources of their states, isolatedly, individually, want to do that alone, we would surely have such situation. And we are all aware that the Supreme Court judgment did not go down with, not everybody that go down with. Some people were looking the situation at, okay, with the way the Supreme Court judgment is, what will happen with the governors begin to move. And the good thing is that we can see now that the governors they know now that this is not a joke. It's not an issue where you will see a Supreme Court judgment and the federal government will not implement. The nice aspect of it that I love so much is that it's the Supreme Court that took this, the federal government that took this case to court. So definitely the implementation will be like, go, we want to do this. So now we have a kind of a time frame for 3 months to have this at the implementation for them to begin to say, if you don't have the local government chairman in place, elected by the people, you will not receive a dime. You will not receive a dime from that allocation. And all the governors now, they have started that process. I want to conduct local government election. I want to conduct. They know what to do before now. They are aware what they should have done before now. But of course, they have to look for a way to say, let's appoint caretaker committee, and this caretaker committee will help me to be controlling the fund. This is a amount I have. Use this. If you like, don't use. You can't even say you won't use. But now, the local government chairman is accountable to the people. The councillors, everybody now.
There's nobody that will be prostrating.
Nobody will be prostrating like we saw in Ogun State. You know, I say yes, our Baba, our this. So you can now have a local government chairman that will be in an opposition party
And win.
And oppose even the state government that is in the state. You know that okay, this policy, sir, that you are bringing to my local government is not beneficial to my people, and you can't come and buy my people off and say this. So it is going to make development faster, quicker, and attainable. And we won't have a situation whereby we would have a governor that will now be using people as a puppet, using the local government chairman as puppet, and using whatsoever resources they are having in that local government, even against the people that are living in that local government. Now, the people in a particular local government can go to their local government chairman, because you can't easily access even the state governor, but you can easily access your local government. Brother Akim, I know your family house. If you fuck up, bros, we will fuck you up too. Okay. You know, that's the reality.
All right, very quickly now. Sir, now, this is the issue. The government went to court. The federal government was bold enough to take their state governors to court. And most importantly, they won. Now we'll be conducting elections, local government elections. Many persons have said that since the state electoral commissioners, CX, State Independent Electoral Commission, will be brought on board by the state governors, won't the commissioners, the commission and whoever is in charge and the team in charge be dancing to the tune of these governors? Because they say who pays the piper dictates the tune.
When I heard about the Supreme Court judgment, people were jubilating, but I had my reservation, because one, the country is a country filled with criminally minded people. I don't want to say criminals. Criminally minded people. Of course, the governors are part of it. For anybody to take what belongs to the local government and divert it, that is criminality at the highest level. And these governors do it without any form of remorse. So the SEC you're talking about, coming to your questions, the SEC you are talking about are just puppets to the governors. And even the governors will be laughing at the Supreme Court judges. That look at, there will always be a lacuna that they will follow to divert local government funds. And two, election of local government chairmen and councillors. No local government chairman will emerge in any state without the backing of the governor. So how can the governor stay away from the local government? It is very difficult, because this local government chairman will always emerge from the backing, from the finances of the state. And the governor will support a local government chairman to emerge so that he will have the leeway. See, they may not be about transferring local government money to the state. They will carry it in cash, in cash to the governors, to the states, because they are in league of the criminality that is sinking Nigeria. So the SEC thing cannot even work. The best thing to have done is that INEC should take over the local government, the conduct of local government election. If what we are seeing now is just mere coronation of people as a local government chairman.
So you are saying this is not victory for the masses, but still victory for the governors?
It is victory for the governors, because all lacunas where this criminality will be perpetrated are just bare. They are open for everybody to see. They are open, and the governors will cash in on that and continue to steal local government funds.
Okay, very quickly, sir. How can we make this a win for the masses, a win for the people, regardless? There
should be. That's why I always, the last time I came here, I talked about National Orientation Agency. NOA should start a serious sensitization program, so that it will tell the people to be on the lookout. Anytime they should watch what is coming to their local government area. And anytime a dime is missing from there, they should hold their chairman responsible. They should hold their chairman responsible up to the extent of telling the chairman not to be too close to the governors, because the governors have not been able to tell us that they are not criminally minded.
very quickly now, you consider this win to be a victory for the people, but what if elected chairmen still go to state governors and go and say, Baba, this is how much we got, this is your own share, or we just got our money, how do you want it to be shared, knowing that the piece for the tree is the piece for the bed?
Yes, you see, I've studied the situation very tightly, and I see that with the political structure of Nigeria, the political system that we practice, it will be difficult to totally eradicate this practice away from the system. I'm saying this because no matter whatsoever agency, be it state, local, or federal, that is in charge of that election, there is always a tendency for you to have the influence of the state governor in the affairs of the local government. And how is that possible? If a governor could have a parley activities with the president that's not even in his party, just to gain favor for one thing or the other for the state, then surely you cannot eradicate that from the local government system. The local government chairman, all the chairmen, will always be looking for one favor or the other from the state governor.
So it's not a win
And so
for the masses.
it's yes, it is partial, and that is why I said it's something that we are getting there. It's a process. Okay, we can't change all these things overnight. These structures, we can't do them overnight. We can't just say, bam, this is the new system we want to practice. But the first win we have gotten as the masses now is to say that yes, at least to a point, we will be choosing those that will lead for us, that will lead us and govern us within the local government system. So if we have been able to achieve this, I believe to a great extent we have a particular win for the masses. The next stage we need to go is to now look at the system. What system do we need to adopt to be able to change that structure where the governors will have a lot of levels of influence in the local government? Like, for example, as we say, even within the State House of Assembly, the governors still have a way, a level at which they control some activities within the State House of Assembly. So definitely, they will always have this parley with the local government chairman. But of course, it does not mean that the local government chairman cannot stand out and say, no, I'm not doing this. Say, for example, I'm still going to mention the case of Ogun. Where you saw a situation where the local government chairman said, no, this is the situation, I don't want this, but it was booted out. But that cannot happen now again, because it's an elected governor, elected local government chairman. So if we have local government chairman that say, oh no, we come together, we are not agreeing these terms with the particular governor, the governor cannot just come and say, no, you are being removed, or you are. So we have gotten a level of win. The next stage is for us to move forward. If we don't want OCF or whatsoever state electoral commission to conduct election, INEC can as well come. But remember, even if INEC come, if INEC come, you are going to have a state chairman, and if the governor is going to play his card with the state chairman of the INEC, very well, he can still do so. The state commissioner or whatever, he can still do so. So it doesn't really mean or change anything. It doesn't change the drama that could take place. Even if it's federal, anything can still happen. In as much as you are in my state, I'm the governor. Of course, I can call you to my office and say, come, Oga, come. I'm giving you a contract of 10 billion. For you to run this thing like this. And I say, oh, I've gotten a contract of 10 billion. The next thing, don't worry, Mr. Governor, you will get this. So, of course, you can get the cards anyhow. Like, so, but the reality, yes, like he said,
many Nigerians are criminally minded.
Of course, many. Of course, we can see it everywhere. A lot of people, if you say clean the pen is a pen. It's easy. It's very difficult to remove it from a paper. Say clean it, then we clean it. And you will not see from a white. And you will not see for the right fee, my brother.
Let me quickly add to that.
Okay.
For us to have local government money working for local government people, working for the people at the rural area, I think the budget, every local government must stress its budget in the media, put it everywhere.
What of so that the media also do that job by now torchlighting, since we know they have full autonomy now. I think the media should also, go deep. For Lagos, this is also amount you'll be getting.
Yes, of course. The local government knows how much they are getting. The people in the local government should know how much they will get in a year. And the local government should be able to put in public glare,
Domain.
the domain, what they will be doing in
So-
1 year.
so-
If any of those things are not accomplished, they will know that definitely something is wrong, and that is why the people must be in touch with the EFCC to take away, to arrest any local government chairman
Because
that is following.
they don't have what's it called? Immunity.
Of course, they don't have immunity. Those
Yeah.
days when local government was when local government was really thriving, we had issues where situations where EFCC arrested some local. Of course, but it's not happening now because they are not in control of
yes,
anything.
yes.
They just give them and you know
Exactly.
you just operate according to what you're giving.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful there. Good one. I mean, I think that was somebody said that is the best thing this Tinubu administration has done so far. Since
Yeah.
Many analysts came out to say, hey, this is like the best thing we've seen from this administration so far. Taking your governors to court, where some other presidents have been dancing to the tune of governors many times because for a man or for a president who is in charge, you need these guys
reasons.
For the second
of course, for a lot of political reasons. You need your governors on the same ship with you. But this time around, like we said last week, perhaps because of the antecedent of the current president, where he had issues with his federal government at the time, are still affecting the local government. And according to his team and his camp, then there's some progress that should have been made failed to happen because of the fees that was held then by the Obasanjo government. Of course, when Yar'Adua came on board, 10 billion naira or so, yes, about 10 billion naira was paid back to the Lagos State government at the time. Very quickly, we move on to the second topic for the day. Just this afternoon, yes, this afternoon, today, Thursday, breaking news came in. And what was the news? That the federal government had banned admissions for persons under the age of 18 into tertiary institution. Don't be too glad. Don't say, oh no, I'll send my children to so private polytechnic, to so private university. No. The federal government banned admission for 18 and under 18 for all tertiary institutions. All private, public, religious owned, any kind of tertiary institution in Nigeria. As reports coming in as it that a particular vice chancellor of a private school wasn't too happy with that from what the minister, I remember Professor Taye Umaman was saying, and that they may have to do something about that. But as at now that I'm speaking to you at 2:26 p.m., that is the latest update. Of course, I'll be pushing that to our analyst on the roundtable here this afternoon. 18 and under, no tertiary institution for you. So if you are going to go and learn tech, you go and learn tech. If it's barbing, go and learn barbing. That is what they are saying practically. And if you look at the fact that many young persons in Nigeria now, before 21, many people are out of school. Now, 20 are saving, 21 are saving, 23 are done with masters. Why are they taking us back? They say it's because we are going the 633 formation, academic system and all that, and anybody under that is too young to go to school. I was not 18 when I got into the polytechnic, and when I was crossing into university, I was just barely over 18. Many persons, brilliant students, my best graduate student was not, was just a chap when he got in. Well, I mean, are they saying you are not smart enough when you are not 18 to get into tertiary institution? Is it that difficult?
Yes, I think the current government of President Bola Tinubu is out to really make a lot of changes when it comes to some abnormalities. When I say abnormalities, in terms of structure and system and all that, and I give it to him in that regard. Yes, first, we have a high level of unemployment rate in the country. And if you study the numbers in terms of the level of graduates that are being chunked out every year, it's so scary that you begin to be afraid of the future of this country. Really, I believe personally that if we could have a particular year that will determine the retirement age of workers, then also we should also be able to determine the entry age of students that goes into the school and they graduate. Because system, when we call something a system is a process that allows a community or activities to operate, a community to operate within a order, if I can use that, to operate within an order. Yeah, system of order that would allow things to work in a way where, of course, things will go as expected, you know. So, for me, I think with what we have witnessed over the years, large numbers of students in the school, especially some that are even young, when they enter into the university, you discover that some things that they even do. I remember a particular vice chancellor, if not even the chairman of this organization, mentioned that the ways, in terms of the way some of the students behave in university, you never imagine that if they pass through a secondary school, you think too young to, come into the university system to begin to. I was in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, recently, even that was last month, and I went to the university there. Let me not mention the name so that we don't have issues these we are on air. And when I was coming out, I was seeing some young ones that were going into the school, and I asked myself a question. I had somebody there. Are these students of the university? And he said yes. And I said, Lord Jesus, what do you mean? Why? Because I was so surprised, because they were very young and small, very young. You will see that these are very young. So the reality remains that I think the federal government is trying to put in an order where we would be able to have a system that will allow us to operate easily when these persons graduate. And that's why we have today Gen Z. When they leave the university and you tell them go and work, give them a specific work, do a particular thing. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, no. Oh,
so you are saying because of the behavior of a certain number of persons, we should overrule everybody in that bracket?
We should give a particular, if we have a order that's primary 6, 3, 3, 4, right?
Yes.
If we have that order, we should also have an order where we would know that, okay, the ages that will enter.
Okay, all right, beautiful. Now 6334, you're saying we are going back to anybody younger than 18. Don't get into tertiary institution.
I think the federal government goofed in that area, because there is this thing they call genius. God creates geniuses, people who have perfect intellect, and they start when they start getting conscious of themselves. So we have had some people who at the age of 10 they are already out of primary school, and at the age of some at the age of 15 or 14 they are already out of because of their intellect, because of what God has given them, and because of their ability to learn. So such people must not be thrown out of reckoning, because if you know what you are doing in school at the early stage, if nature allows you to move on, the federal government should not be a stumbling block. Should not hold you down. So if I am an intelligent person and I was able to make to get JAMB result, a good one, by age of 16, I don't think nobody should stop me. And I tell you, those who are geniuses will be cursing the federal government for bringing this kind of rule. It is not in order as far as I'm concerned. My uncle who is a former vice chancellor of one university, he told me he got into university at the age of 14, 15. He wasn't up to 15 years. So why will you, if you bring this kind of rule, that means we may not have a person like that, my uncle, Dr.
in Big 2024.
Yes, Professor Chinedu Mwajuba. We should be thinking ahead, not trying to block people. See, it is not a criminal offense if somebody at the age of 15 is brighter than somebody at the somebody who is 26 or 25. It is not a criminal offense. Allow him to move on. Don't block him. Don't stop him. As far as I'm concerned, that law, I see it as one of the things federal government is doing that is not even necessary. Leaving the main thing and chasing shadows.
What is not? Yeah. All right. Very quickly now, I'll be coming to Daniel, who's interestingly supporting this. You look at some of these men in power now. Not just by power, I don't mean political power. Men holding top positions. Governors. Sorry, like I said, I don't mean people in power. MDs of banks, MDs of top organizations. Go and look at the ages of some of these guys. Some of them were holding big positions at 40, some at 35, some at 42. J.D. Vance, the vice presidential nominee of the Republican Party, for the upcoming American election, is 39. He's a current senator. He got into the Senate about 2 years ago or so at 36, 37. He's planning to be trying to be vice president at 39. Students in the United Kingdom at 23, they are done. Like I said, my father and myself finished secondary school at 16. I finished, I think, 15 or 16. You know, it didn't stop anybody from being silly if you want to be silly, or being smart if you want to be smart. So tying people down, because many of these children these days, kids, they are not kids. I mean, when you're doing secondary school, many of these students finish at 14, 15, 16. So you are saying you finish at 16, you must do compulsory 2 years. That is if somebody say minus has to strike, that when you eventually get in, or minus what's the other one? Failing of JAMB for those that cannot make it into private schools, or maybe something got lost, or the academic system. Very funny. So you are saying before we start, you enter at 18, you do 4 years, that's 23 or so, you serve 1 year before, all these jobs where they say before 24, 25 coming, all these things. We are pushing our people out of it. We are saying people are not getting married, people are not getting, when you settle down into the economy, and we don't know how good or bad the economy will turn in some further years, you have to work a few years before you can say, I'm looking for it. Are we not pushing the whole thing back? And the age to die, I mean, according to, what's it called now? It's still not going, it's not like our life expectancy is going further. Yeah. Why are we doing this? Why is this the next thing in the educational system of Nigeria? The next thing is age for people to get admission. We are not looking at, we don't have enough classrooms. We don't have worthy classrooms. Our libraries are not well equipped. The next thing is for Professor Tayo Maman to be talking about age.
Yes, thank you very much. You really analyzed well. But I would want to say, it's just beyond just coming up and saying age and saying a specific time, this is a particular age and all that. I think that, like I rightly mentioned, that it is something that we are aware of, that of course, that's, like I mentioned earlier, it's not a process, it's not something you just do once. This is a process in terms of the policies and whatsoever thing they intended to implement. So, but of course, when you have such system in place and you say a particular age is determining this life expectancy, the issue of the that all the issues within the education sector, addressing it and all that, yes, it will and it should of course be addressed, which is very important. But again, determining that it is 18 years or giving a specific age does not really stop. I don't think, for me, I don't think it doesn't really stop anybody that wants to be a chap to be chap. Somebody, your age does not really even determine if you are going to be what is it called, misbehaving or whatever. But of course, it's successful. But I think what they are trying to guide against, is that let's not have persons who will not be able to manage even their self within the university system and all that environment. And of course, I remember doing a report some time ago talking about the fact that some particular skills are going into extinction and all that. What? Of course, within the time they finish the secondary school and the time that the age that is being given, they can also have people learn specific skills. You understand? And also give a kind of a boost to this even before they get to that specific age. If the federal government comes and say, yes, 18 years should be determined. Of course, you mentioned UK, you mentioned other countries. But can you compare whatsoever their social-cultural or whatever behavior some of them portray because of having a kind of a level of education to that of Nigeria? You see a young boy can easily take a gun and shoot the father and say, yes, sir, it's my this. Or I remember watching a video where a young, very young boy, chap just came back home and said called police on his mother and said my mother was doing this. You know, you can't compare that system with that of Nigeria. Our own issues is very unique, and because it's unique, we must also adopt the unique approach to it. Certainly. Yes, we know that. Yes, we know that we don't want to tie anybody down. We don't want to tie people from going to their getting education and all that. But again, we should be able to put some kind of level of measures to some certain things. I think what the minister is looking at is the fact that I don't know his mind. I'm not his spokesperson, but I'm looking at the fact that he's also looking at the fact, he's looking at the reality that what are the level of graduates? How are we having a lot of graduates out every year, but at the same time, no job, and at the same time, what are we going to do? You know, all those process, and it's not that holding them down. You are 18, you leave the secondary school after 18. What is happening to skills out there? What is happening to someone? And if you have those skills even before going into the university, you get into the university and you finish, you go to NYSC, it will also help you within all this process. I know of a young lady that was able, in the process of seeking for admission, went through some skills, tailoring skills, attained the skills, and right now she is using that skills even while she's in school to even support herself before even get to them. So a lot of things like this can also be adopted.
All right. Brilliant one there. You know, there's going to be pro arguments against this new policy, and there will be some against. Depends on the divide you stand. Like I said earlier, a particular vice chancellor of a private school seriously went against that, and they said, it was said that soon something will be done about that. So we look out for more information as regarding that new education policy. If you're just joining us, this is the roundtable, and yeah, it's time for us to talk about our very last topic for the day. IOCs are blocking crude supply. Still, the Dangote refinery vice chairman has come out to say, you know, there was this shout the other time, and now the shout is still on. I'll stay with you, Daniel. That they are not giving them crude. They are prioritizing selling to Asian countries rather than selling to them, a country in Nigeria. What is going on? I mean, why exactly are we in this ship? I thought priority should be a Nigerian company. There should be laws, there should be policies made in support of the home country. The government should be helping out.
Now, I one thing I asked myself when Dangote refinery was established was that what will be the implication of having Dangote refinery here in Nigeria, especially to the costs of our petrol and other products. And my expectation is that at least we should have a well-reduced cost of petrol and all that. But rather, since the refinery kicked off, it's either we have been having even issue to the other, and they are raising one concern or the other. So it has become a battle, an unending battle between Dangote and the IOC. Yes, I was talking to somebody and the person said obviously they want to frustrate the company out of business and all that. And I said I don't really agree with that. I think what would be happening is within the framework. They will be seeing Dangote has become a competitor to them. You understand? It's clear Dangote has become a competitor to them. And if the IOCs, they will be saying that yes, Dangote is a Nigerian-based company, and they know that the person that is in charge, that owns the company, is somebody that is even within the government system. So one way or the other, one activity or the other. But I would only want to plead to the IOCs and Dangote that, see, listen, whatsoever policies and whatsoever thing, especially when it comes to these sales of crude oil, that you are carrying out, know that the end people that will suffer the implication are the people, Nigerians. So whatsoever thing that needs to be done.
You think some of these persons care about Nigerians?
They should care because they are making their money from Nigeria. Right. And that is why my problem, you know, I always have this problem with government. That is why I always say government is at the center of everything. Yeah. The government should look into whatsoever issues Dangote. It appears that they are not even saying anything right now about the clash. They should look into it.
IOC's, sorry, Dangote has come out, the Dangote refinery now, not Mr. Aliko himself. The Dangote refinery have come out to say, again, IOCs are frustrating us. They are not supplying us crude. Rather, they are prioritizing some Asian countries. We are a Nigerian company. This crude is coming out of our land. The worst or the least they can do is, okay, let's have some home percentage, home advantage, they call it in football. You know, I mean, there should be priority for a home company. I mean, why is this happening and it looks like nobody's saying anything after all this month?
Everything you have said here boils down to government irresponsibility. The moment you devalue your currency, such things will happen. I read a book when I was in the university. The title is The Lure of Ash. The Lure of Ash. Now, what we are seeing now is lure of dollars. These people are aware that the naira is gone. It has been so devalued that it is now as if
it's non-entity value.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense trading petrol with naira, and that is why Dangote they are not supplying Dangote. Look at in the whole crude oil thing that is out for sale. IOCs have 60%. NNPC has 40%. Now the NNPC share. Why is it that NNPC cannot even supply Dangote? You can see that even the Nigerianness in us, we are losing it because of the lure of dollar. This thing happened. This thing is also a problem we are facing in food insecurity.
People are selling outside.
People are selling outside. Now the CFA is stronger than the naira.
So it's best to go to.
So it's best to sell your tomato and to Chad, Benin. And that is what is happening to Dangote today. Any person that IMF will always tell the federal government.
These are IMF policies that the federal government is.
And the thing is killing us. IMF, World Bank, devalue your currency to what it should be. Is it the outsider that will tell us what our naira, the strength of our naira should be? And that is what is causing this crisis. And I don't see any end to it because the lure of ash is there. It's like the oxygen they breathe. The lure of dollar is there. It's like the oxygen they breathe. When you can sell somebody to something to and make more money. There is no sentiment in business. It is like magnet. When I put magnet to an iron, a magnet will not say, no, this one is my brother. No, it is natural. So what federal government should do is to revive the strength of the naira. If you can revive it, Dangote, they will sell for Dangote
instantly.
Okay,
very quickly. Still, because we are in the oil sector now. Yesterday, the NNPC boss came out to say, not the first time he has been saying it. They told us when President Tinubu got on board that the PH refinery was going to be 65% completed as of December 2023. They moved that goalpost. They told us again it was going to be. They've shifted like only God knows how many times now. Now the NNPC boss Mele Kyari yesterday said that by August is just some weeks away, some days away actually. By August it will start working, and he was not lying. That was the sweet part for me. Now, how are we sure when our 40% of oil is not being pumped to Dangote? Let's say, okay, perhaps they are keeping everything, although we are still paying some crude loan. Let's not forget that we borrowed FX from Afrimax Bank. Nigeria is paying crude loan to this bank. All right. But now, how are we sure that when and if when the refinery, Protocol refinery comes on board in a couple of days? That is if it comes on board, because evidence has shown that we can't really fully support and put our hopes in the NNPC. But if it comes on board, what is the certainty that the NNPC will have oil to pump to NNPC refinery?
I will not even rely on NNPC. When they started making these promises, since it started from the president on this Port Harcourt refinery thing, and it is most annoying that they are shameless. They keep on giving date,
without apologies.
The worst thing that can happen to a country is to continually have leadership that cannot say a simple truth to the people. And the people, I think Nigerians remains, I don't know how I would describe Nigerians, whether I will call them the best or the worst. in terms of taking in junk.
Best in suffering.
The junk they get from the leadership. Now they have continued to postpone it to the detriment. Why they can't even fulfill anything. Port Harcourt refinery remains moribund. Kaduna refinery remains moribund.
According to the plan, Kaduna is supposed to be ready this 2024 December.
See, the fact is that if a leadership has no plan, this is what you get always. And I tell you, I can't rely on Mele Kyari. Kyari should be sacked in the first place because everything NNPC is doing is shrouded in secrecy. If Dangote had not raised the alarm, I tell you, NNPC will not tell you that there is any problem. NNPC likes operating like a court group,
They
like
won't
a
say
secret
the
court.
IOC was not selling to a Nigerian.
No, they won't say
because
it.
they should at least be protected.
They will even tell you that all is well. I have never seen in my life where people in leadership so much hate the people. People they lead, you hate them as if, I don't know. Why will you not give Dangote crude oil? In a military regime, some of these people should be thrown into the gulag. Throw them into the prison.
That's the beauty of democracy.
There is no beauty in this kind of democracy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There you have it. It's been an interesting time on today's episode of the Round Table. What do we do on this show? In case you're just joining us, we analyze 3 topical issues and we present them before you the way it is meant to be. We argue for and against these topics, and we allow you, the audience, to be the judge. I've had 2 very wonderful gentlemen on the show this cold afternoon. I've had our news editor for Weekend Titles of the Punch, Mr. Chukwudi Akasiki. Thank you very much for being on the program.
Thank you very much.
And I've had the man of the people himself, Daniel Ayotwe, to my left, boiling and ever angry as usual. Thank you very much, our viewers, for being a part of this package. Like I always say, if you are not there, we would never be here. Thank you also to our production team for being a very, very great support. My name is Shegun Odwai. I was saying, take care of yourself, stay out of trouble. The weekend begins tomorrow. Don't be weakened by the weekend. God bless you.